I got lots of things to do. And so again, the Protestant reformers brought up very clearly how dangerous that was, because we wanted the easy way out. An external action became the thing to do without really allowing it on an internal level to bring about transformation. 1962, Vatican Council came about and said, let's try to work from the inside out. Let's not be so caught up on those external symbols, so that we can try to figure out from the inside a mature faith, not just because of what I do, but because of how I live and engage. And so the Second Vatican Council, now 50 to 52 years later, is still trying to bring, especially those of us who are Catholic, to a deeper sense of what it means to be a Catholic. Not just because I do things, but because I've allowed those actions to impact me on the inside. An external action that invites internal transformation. And so, you might think it odd, because we just heard, hey, don't worry about what people see as we're broadcasting our Ash Wednesday service. Don't worry about sounding a gong as we ring a gong before we pray. And so all of those things seem to be a little bit of a challenge. Well, what does it mean to pray, to fast, and to give alms or to serve? Those are the three themes that I offered to our community for us to consider how we might discover our better selves. Pray, an internal conversation with God, an internal conversation with our own sense of reason, taking some time to have that quiet espacio silence, taking some time to read. This is actually my reading book for Lent. It's called Good Without God: What a Billion Non-Religious People Do Believe. And this is from a Jewish humanist chaplain at Harvard who doesn't believe in God. You might also want to consider, Chris Stedman just came out with this book called Faithiest: How an Atheist Found Common Ground with the Religious. You might want to revisit some good old classics. Biblia, the books, and take some time that way. A little bit of systematic theology, maybe brush up on your own sense of understanding what it means to be a person of faith. Maybe some spirituality. Richard Rohr has this incredible book on men and the spirituality of men. Pretty important there. Or just a book that gives you a sense of what life might be about, to discover for your own self. Pray, that internal communication that you have. Maybe it's about getting a group of people together once a day, once a week, taking some time to discover how to pray the rosary. Thank you, Sasha, for bringing this rosary back from Israel for me. How to discover a practice that you might have at one point known, a form of prayer that involves community and recitation as well. Prayer, internal communication, fasting. Now I have to tell you a quick little story. This morning on my way to the coffee shop that I usually stop at, I got a cup of coffee and then I realized, oh, I was going to give up coffee for Lent. The coffee is still in my car, full. I didn't take a sip. Not because I wanted to deny something that is going to be bad for me. The whole thing about fasting is actually being conscious of something that is good, something that you enjoy. I enjoy coffee. Something that you enjoy, and doing without it for these 40 days. Perhaps you like chocolate. Perhaps you like candy. Perhaps you like doing your homework on time. That doesn't fit. You can't give up doing homework on time. No, it's and joy. The purpose of giving something up isn't to make us angry. I switched to decaf about a year and a half ago, so it's not so much the caffeine, it's just that nice warm drink in the morning that I take. So, giving up coffee shouldn't make me an angry person. Giving up sugar, giving up caffeine, giving up candy shouldn't make you a bad person because it's hard to do, or to say, hey, look at me, how good I am. I gave up coffee for Lent. Pat me on the back. Nice, thank you. Good job, Mr. Vasquez. No, that's not about it. Those external actions should invite an internal transformation. Fasting. Whether you give something up or you take something on. Fasting from your cell phone. My cell phone is being used up there. Fasting from Facebook, from Instagram. Again, not necessarily something that is bad for us, but just something that we really do enjoy. Take this time to focus on something bigger, discovering that better self that we have. You'll be invited on Wednesdays during Lent to fast from food, to give up your lunch, whether you buy a lunch or you brought a lunch home. Bring that by the campus ministry office, and we'll give that to houseless people, people that might be more in need of that food than we are. I'll deliver those each day. So again, on Wednesdays, you can fast from a meal. You can give your lunch money to me in the campus ministry office so that we can make some sandwiches to give away. Fasting, an action that invites an internal transformation. And then finally, almsgiving. Service. I don't think we need to go too much into that because we are a community that believes in reaching out to others and serving. Community Service Day, our Gold Free Day, a week from Friday, is a time when all of us will be engaging in that experience of almsgiving, of giving of our time, giving of our resources. You might want to consider finding a donation, an organization that you can support during these 40 days. Kiva, Heifer International, so many organizations, the Red Cross, Face AIDS, so many organizations that you could, again, give a little bit of what you have to help those in need. And so prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, serving, those themes that you'll see posted on our school campus. I'd like for you at this time, those of you on the ends under your chairs, have a little sheet of paper that says Building Lent. Go ahead and pass those to the person next to you. Front side says Building Lent. Live each new today. On the back side is a personal inventory. If you have a pen, if not, you can come up and get a marker. But I'd like for you to consider what these 40 days will be for you. How will you pray? How will you fast? How will you serve? Then maybe a little note to your better self. Not the action so much as that process of inviting internal transformation. If you don't have a pen, please feel free to come up and grab a marker and hold on to that. Take a few moments to fill this out. Go ahead and just take a couple of moments of silence as you're filling out. Thank you. And once you're done with that, it'll make sense. So you'll use the laundry line clip, clothespin. You'll use the clothespin. And I encourage you to put this on the inside of your locker door. It's got a little magnet on it. The external side out has that reminder for these 40 days that the internal side, what you can't really see, is really for you and for you alone. And so I encourage you, if you happen to be at somebody else's locker, that you respect that as very private, your own personal inventory. You'll only see that part as a little visible reminder that all of us walk and build this experience toddy today. And so the ashes. There is a phrase associated with the distribution of ashes that says, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Kind of a sobering phrase, but really a phrase that reminds us, Logan, no matter how good you are, you're going to die. We're all in this process. And so today, what we do today is important. And so in a moment, I'll ask our leaders who are going to distribute those ashes, those challenges, those things that we identified last year that keep us from being our better selves. Maybe the inventory helped you articulate what that might be. I'll invite you to come forward and receive those ashes with a smudge on your forehead. And then as you do, to make your way through, take a purple tissue paper and identify what that challenge is for you. What is it that keeps you from being your better self? One thing, a word, a phrase, a picture. Write that down. Tables here. And then walk up this door. Please make sure that you only walk up this door. It will be a one-way. Please walk up this way and add that purple tissue paper to the cross. Okay? So those helping with the distribution of ashes. We'll do this in silence, respecting each other, giving each other space as we do this. And so I invite you to please come forward to one of the people up here at the front. You can put your inventory underneath your seat for now. Come forward, move to the back to write that tissue paper, a challenge, keeps you from your better self, then make your way back up to the stage.
show.
Thank you. Gerald Reeder approached me a few weeks ago with an idea, and I was so impressed by his initiative